Good evening, and welcome back to Breathingspace, the quietest corner of the internet. I'm Sam. Join me Monday through Thursday every week for a relaxing podcast to help you wind down, de-stress, and drift off into the deep sleep you deserve. Hit the follow button now to never miss an episode, and begin building a Breathingspace bedtime routine that serves you. The Odyssey, Book 1. Argument. In a council of the gods, Minerva calls their attention to Ulysses, still a wanderer. They resolve to grant him a safe return to Ithaca. Minerva descends to encourage Telemachus, and in the form of Mentes directs him in what manner to proceed. Throughout this book, the extravagance and profligacy of the suitors are occasionally suggested. Muse, make the man thy theme, for shrewdness famed, and genius versatile, who far and wide, a wanderer after Ilium overthrown, discovered various cities and the mind, the manners learned of men in lands remote. He numerous woes on ocean tossed endured, anxious to save himself and to conduct his followers to their home. Yet all his care preserved them not. They perished, self-destroyed, by their own fault infatuate, who devoured the oxen of the all-o'erseeing sun, and punished for that crime returned no more. Daughter divine of Jove, these things record, as it may please thee even in our ears. The rest, all those who had perdition scraped by war or on the deep, dwelt now at home. Him only, of his country, and his wife alike desirous in her hollow grots, Calypso, goddess beautiful, detained wooing him in her arms. But when at length many a long year elapsed, the year arrived of his return by the decree of heaven to Ithaca. Not even then had he, although surrounded by his people, reached the period of his sufferings and his toils. Yet all the gods, with pity moved, beheld his woes save Neptune. He alone with wrath unceasing pursued godlike Ulysses to his native shores. But Neptune now the Ethiopians fought, the Ethiopians upmost of mankind. These eastward situate, those towards the west, called to a hecatomb of bulls and lambs. There sitting, pleased he bequeathed the gods in Jove's abode, meantime assembled all, midst whom the sire of heaven and earth began. For he recalled to mind Aegisthus slain by Agamemnon's celebrated son, Orestes, and retracing in his thought that dread event, the immortals thus addressed. Alas, how prone are humankind to blame the powers of heaven. From us, they say, proceed the ills which they endure, yet more than fate herself inflicts, by their own crimes incur. So now Aegisthus, by no force constrained of destiny, Atrides' wedded wife took to himself, and him at his return slew, not unwarned of his own dreadful end by us, for we commanded Hermes down the watchful Agricide, who bade him fear alike to slay the king or woo the queen. For that, Atrides' son Orestes, soon as grown mature and eager to assume his sway imperial, should avenge the deed. So Hermes spake, but his advice moved not Aegisthus, on whose head the whole arrear of vengeance heaped. At last hath therefore fallen, who answered then Pallas, Caerulean-eyed, O Jove, Saturnian sire, o'er all supreme, and well he merited the death he found. So perish all who shall like him offend. But with a bosom anguish rent I view Ulises, hapless chief, who from his friends remote affliction hath long time endured. In yonder woodland isle, the central boss of ocean, that retreat a goddess holds, daughter of Sapian Atlas, who the abyss knows to its bottom and the pillars high. Himself upbears which separate earth from heaven, his daughter there the sorrowing chief detains, and ever with smooth speech insidious seeks to wean his heart from Ithaca. Meantime Ulises, happy might he but behold the smoke ascending from his native land, death covets. Canst thou not, Olympian Jove, at least relent? Hath not Ulises oft with victims slain amid Achaea's fleet thee gratified while yet at Troy he fought? How hath he then so deep incensed thee, Jove? To whom the cloud assembler god replied, that word hath passed thy lips, daughter beloved. Can I forget Ulises, him forget so noble, who in wisdom all mankind excels, and who hath sacrificed so oft to us, whose dwelling is the boundless heaven, earth-circling Neptune. He it is whose wrath pursues him, ceaseless for the Cyclops' sake, Polypheme, strongest of the giant race, whom of his eyes Ulises hath deprived. For him Thoosa bore, nymph of the sea, from Phorcys sprung, by ocean's mighty power, impregnated the caverns of the deep. E'er since that day, the shaker of the shores, although he slay him not, yet devious drives Ulises from his native isle afar. Yet come, in full assembly his return, contrive we now both means and prosperous end, so Neptune shall his wrath remit, whose power in contest with the force of all the gods, exerted single, can but strive in vain. Do Minerva, goddess azure-eyed, O Jupiter above all kings enthroned, if the immortals ever blessed ordain that wise Ulises to his home return, dispatch we then Hermes, the Agrithid, our messenger, hence to Orgygia's isle, who shall inform Calypso, nymph divine, of this our first resolve, that to his home Ulises, toil-enduring chief, repair. Myself will hence to Ithaca, meantime his son to animate, and with new force inspire, that the Aegeans all coveted in council, he may instant bid depart the suitors from his home, who day by day his numerous flocks and fatted herds consume. And I will send him thence to Sparta forth, and into sandy Pilus, there to hear, if hear he may, some tidings of his sire, and to produce himself a glorious name. That said, her golden sandals to her feet, she bound ambrosial, which o'er all the earth, and o'er the moist flood waft her fleet as air.